Proverbs 21, Phase 1. 1. A king's heart is like flowing water in the Lord's hand. He directs it wherever he chooses. This teaches that even the most powerful human authority ultimately moves under God's sovereignty, not its own control. Every way a person chooses seems right to them, but the Lord weighs the heart. This tells us self-justification is unreliable. God judges motives, not excuses. 3. Doing what is right and just matters more to the Lord than sacrifice. This means obedience outweighs religious performance. 4. Proud eyes and an arrogant heart. The lamp of the wicked is sin. This teaches that pride fuels wrongdoing and blinds moral vision. 5. Careful planning leads to abundance, but reckless haste leads only to lack. This shows wisdom values patience over impulsive action. 6. Wealth gained by lying is a fading mist and a deadly trap. This warns dishonest gain destroys the one who pursues it. 7. The violence of the wicked drags them down because they refuse to do what is right. This tells us injustice eventually turns inward and consumes its source. 8. The guilty walk twisted paths, but the innocent act with clarity and honesty. This teaches character shapes direction. Hatch 9. Better to live on a corner of a roof than share a house with a quarrelsome spouse. This means constant conflict corrodes peace more than hardship. 10. The wicked crave evil. They show no mercy to others. This reveals sin reshapes desire, not just behavior. 11. When a scoffer is punished, the naive learn. When the wise are instructed, they grow in understanding. This teaches correction benefits everyone differently, but always effectively. 12. The righteous one observes the house of the wicked and brings ruin on those who do evil. This tells us God sees behind closed doors. 13. Whoever ignores the cry of the poor will one day cry out and not be answered. This warns mercy withheld becomes mercy denied. 14. A quiet gift calms anger, and a discreet offering softens fierce wrath. This teaches humility and wisdom can diffuse conflict. 15. Justice brings joy to the righteous, but terror to those who practice evil. This means the same truth comforts some and condemns others. 16. Whoever strays from the path of understanding will rest among the dead. This warns persistent foolishness leads to destruction. 17. Whoever loves pleasure will become poor. Whoever indulges constantly will never be rich. This teaches unchecked appetite erodes stability. 18. The wicked become a ransom for the righteous, and the treacherous replace the upright. This tells us evil often collapses under its own weight. 19. Better to live in a desert land than with a contentious and angry spouse. This reinforces the destructive power of unrestrained conflict. 20. Precious treasure and oil are stored by the wise, but fools consume everything they have. This teaches wisdom plans for the future. 21. Whoever pursues righteousness and mercy finds life, justice, and honor. This shows character shapes destiny. 22. A wise person can overpower a city of the strong and tear down the confidence they rely on. This teaches wisdom outperforms brute strength. 23. Whoever guards their mouth and tongue keeps themselves from trouble. This tells us restraint protects more than aggression. 24. The proud and arrogant are called scoffers. They act with reckless contempt. This reveals pride resists correction. 25. The desire of the lazy kills them because they refuse to work. This teaches neglect can be as destructive as wrongdoing. 26. All day long the lazy crave, but the righteous give freely. This contrasts selfish desire with generous discipline. 27. The sacrifice of the wicked is detestable, especially when offered with evil intent. This warns religious acts cannot mask corruption. 28. A false witness will perish, but a truthful witness endures. This teaches truth outlives deception. 29. The wicked put on a bold face, but the upright consider their ways. This shows confidence without reflection is dangerous. 30. No wisdom, no understanding, no counsel can stand against the Lord. This declares God's authority is absolute. 31. The horse is prepared for the day of battle, but victory belongs to the Lord. This teaches preparation matters, but outcomes remain in God's hands. Proverbs 21. Phase 2. Historical and cultural anchorings. Proverbs 21 reflects a society in which kings and judges exercised considerable authority, and communities relied on integrity and wisdom for social stability. Leadership was measured by the ability to discern rightly and act justly. Corruption or pride in rulers brought real consequences for the people. Family structures and personal behavior were intertwined with societal outcomes, as moral failures had tangible ripple effects in commerce, relationships, and governance. Punishment and reward were not abstract. They shaped survival, trust, and legacy. Modern application. In today's world, Proverbs 21 applies to leadership, personal ethics, and social systems. Decision-making at work, in government, or even in family life is observed and evaluated, sometimes visibly, sometimes spiritually. Pride, rash speech, laziness, and self-justification carry consequences just as real now as in ancient Israel. Conversely, integrity, patience, and disciplined generosity continue to yield stability, respect, and long-term benefit. This chapter calls readers to examine character over appearance, intention over impulse, and God's standard over cultural approval. Linguistic anchorings. The Hebrew original emphasizes contrasts, cause and effect, and parallelism. Many statements pair human perception with divine evaluation. What seems right to a person may differ from what God weighs in the heart. Repetition of terms like righteous, wicked, pride, and wisdom reinforces the moral framework. Modern English phrasing has been applied in Phase 1 to maintain clarity, spoken rhythm, and accessibility while preserving the weight of the original Hebrew structure. Theological anchorings. God is presented as the ultimate judge of motives, actions, and outcomes. Human plans and appearances are insufficient. God evaluates the heart and ensures justice. Discipline, correction, and integrity are framed as tools of divine refinement. The chapter stresses that God governs both overt authority and personal conscience, underscoring his control over circumstances and destiny. Key themes: sovereignty of God, even kings, hearts and human authority operate under God's direction. Integrity and accountability, personal behavior affects families, communities, and society. Wisdom over brute force, discernment and patience outperform arrogance and haste. Pride versus humility. Pride corrupts, humility preserves. Righteousness and mercy. Living with compassion and justice produces life, honor, and stability. Closing thought: Proverbs 21 teaches that moral and spiritual alignment is inseparable from practical outcomes. Wisdom, integrity, and humility influence not only personal destiny but also societal well-being. Obedience to God's principles produces measurable blessings. Defiance and self-serving behavior invite consequences. The chapter encourages ongoing self-reflection, accountability, and reliance on God's sovereign guidance. Reflection prompts. In what areas of leadership or influence does God's guidance need to direct your decisions? How do your actions and character affect those around you, family, colleagues, or community? Where might pride or rashness be undermining your stability or relationships? How can mercy, integrity, and patience shape your personal and professional life today?